What are the best AC/DC albums from the Brian Johnson era? My name is Sean Morrison, and before I go into the discussion on that, I want to give a special shout out to YouTube host Brendan Snyder, SNYDER. Does a lot of good music reviews on albums. He does unboxings. He gives album releases. It's a very great channel. Just type in his name, Brendan, BRENDAN, SNYDER. Should be able to find him. And if you don't, just type his name and type in AC/DC or Styx, because he does reviews on every band you can imagine. But he did something on AC/DC first on his top 10 albums from the Brian Johnson era. Mine here is a little different. I'm just going to discuss the albums. I'm going to start with Back in Black. Always love Back in Black. You know, it's one of the more radio played, almost every song being an album rock track. You know, Back in Black, you can't get enough of. Either You Shook Me All Night Long, Shoot the Thrill. You can hear that 24 hours a day. And of course, Let Me Put My Love Into You, Babe. Gotta like that one. In Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. So many good songs off of that one. It's 25 million copies in the United States. Then you go into For Those About to Rock, which only sold 4 million copies, and you know, some feel it was a bomb compared to the release after Back in Black. But honestly, what really hurt that album was the record company re-releasing Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap with Bon Scott, and they sandwiched that right after the release of Back in Black. But getting back into For Those About to Rock, a lot of great songs on there, such as the title track For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, in their set list still today. I Put the Finger on You, one of my favorites off of it. Let's Get It Up, that's another good one. Also, Night of the Long Knives, the song Snowball, you name it. Then, of course, we go into 1983 album Flick of the Switch, which is one of my favorite AC/DC albums, I'm not going to lie. It did hit number 15 on the Billboard Top 200 album chart, and it was certified platinum. A lot of great songs on there, such as Flick of the Switch, This House Is on Fire, Brain Shake, Landslide, title track Flick of the Switch as well. Simon Wright is in the videos on the album, but of course, Phil Rudd did play on this album before he was fired from the band. The album was certified platinum, but it was considered a bomb compared to For Those About to Rock and, of course, Back in Black. Then after that, 1985 came Fly on the Wall, which is the favorite AC/DC album from Sean Morrison, Mr. Morrison, if you may. A lot of great songs on there, such as Danger, Sink the Pink, which I love to hear all the time, Shake Your Foundations, Send for the Man, sounds like a mafia song, First Blood, always love to hear First Blood all the time. A lot of great fucking songs off of Fly on the Wall. There's another one that's ticking on my brain here, and I'm trying to Playing with Girls. That's another good one. That's the one I was thinking of. Okay, this we can't consider an album really, because it was more of a soundtrack, which basically gave AC/DC popularity again after the other albums weren't considered good sellers. Even though Fly on the Wall was top 31 gold, we did have Who Made Who, which was the soundtrack to Maximum Overdrive, which featured hits from the first two Brian Johnson albums of For Those About to Rock and Back in Black, as well as Fly on the Wall. But it featured 3 studio tracks that were new. Of course, one of the favorite songs from Mr. Morrison from AC/DC, Who Made Who, and those instrumental tracks DT and Chase the Ace. And I know those instrumental tracks are favorites of Janaki. One of our favorite AC/DC songs is Shoot the Thrill of the Back in Black. This album sold about 5 million to 6 million copies. Not sure the Billboard chart position offhand, but that's okay. And Ride On from the Bon Scott era was on the album, and basically its most noted for the movie Maximum Overdrive, which was really a bomb, but the soundtrack did well, but the movie was a disaster. Then after that, we go to 1988 with Blow Up Your Video. Another great album from AC/DC, and this is the last one to feature Simon, right? And great songs on there, such as That's the Way I Want to Rock and Roll, Heat Seeker, a couple more of my favorites on there, Go Zone, as well as Two's Up. There's other good songs on there as well. And of course, we go into 1990's Thunderstruck, where we saw the debut on drums of Chris Slade, and of course the album title track, Thunderstruck, Money Talks, the top 30 single in the United States, as well as Are You Ready? And of course, Are You Ready, if you're a WWE fan, it's featured on SmackDown on the WWE, and you get that music a lot. It would be nice to see AC/DC play at WrestleMania, but we'll have to wait and see. After that, 1995, and then the album Ball Breaker came out, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't really get that much into the album. It is a double platinum album, but started listening to more of it over the years and everything. And two of the great songs on there, Hail Caesar and Cover You in Oil, and it featured the return of Phil Rudd on the drums. Then we go to Stiff Upper Lip in 2000, and of course, the title track to the song, Stiff Upper Lip, as well as Safe in New York City. Two of my favorite tracks off of Stiff Upper Lip. There's other great songs off of it as well, but those are the two I listen to a lot these days. 2008, of course, was the Fire and Ice album, which features the songs. Did I say Fire and Ice? Yeah, Rock. If I'm saying the album title wrong, I apologize. It's been a long day. Rock and Roll Train, great fucking song on there, indeed. And then of course, the 2014 album Rock or Bust, which is one of my three favorite AC/DC albums. A lot of great songs on there, such as Play Ball, the title track Rock or Bust, Rockin' the Blues Away, Sweet Candy, you name it. Technically, at the time, was the last album to feature Phil Rudd before he was fired from the band due to legal issues in Australia and in his hometown, replaced again by you know who, Chris Slade. Why did I fucking forget his name again? And Chris Slade did the tour for Rock or Bust, and when Brian Johnson got sick from the I don't mean to say sick, but when he had the hearing issues, Axl Rose did the remaining dates on the tour. Not a lot of fans were happy about it. Then between 2017 and 2018, members of AC/DC, Phil Rudd, Brian Johnson, Angus Young, and Stevie Young were spotted, believe it or not, in Canada working on new music for an AC/DC album that's supposed to be coming out. So far, it hasn't been released yet. And then almost a year later, bassist Cliff Williams, who was in retirement after the Rock or Bust tour, was seen going in the studio as well, recording material too. So it looks like the AC/DC album is done. Twitch Sister lead vocalist Dee Snyder has mentioned that the album has been delayed because of the coronavirus epidemic that's been going on, but who knows? That's going to be another great AC/DC album once it gets released. So friends, what are your favorite AC/DC albums from the Brian Johnson era and your favorite songs? I'm not mentioning anything about Bon Scott here. That's separate. I'm going to be dead honest. I'm not a major Bon Scott fan, so if you see me doing any limited AC/DC videos on Bon Scott, that's the reason. It's all Brian Johnson here. Rock or Bust. Actually, I'll go with Fly on the Wall, Flick of the Switch, Rock and Bust below your video of the 4 favorite AC/DC albums from Mr. Morrison. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for your support. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do so after this video. Those that have already subscribed, thank you. Keep the support, keep the faith. And let us know what's your favorite AC/DC albums and what songs are your favorites. Thank you. Shame, shame, shame.